It's Karen Whooley from KarenWhooley.com, and welcome to this week's Team Whooleygan live chat. I'm so excited you guys are all here, and I wanted to just go through the normal beginning of my show. So if you want to get to know a little bit more about me, you can go to my website, which is right down here. And while you're there, make sure that you subscribe to my newsletter. I also have a link down here at the bottom. Newsletter subscribers always get 25% off all new releases, discounts on books, and they find out about my new classes first. So make sure that you subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. If you're not watching this on YouTube, or if you're watching this after the fact, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. While you're watching right now, if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And also hit the like button. I'd really appreciate if you did both of those. It helps get my videos seen a little bit more, so I would appreciate it if you did that. If you're not watching on Facebook, you can also like me on Facebook. This is my link directly to my Facebook page. There is also a group on Facebook called Team Whooleygan, and you can join that as well. If you go to this link, excuse me, this morning, I'm having a little trouble with my throat. If you go to this link and on my main page, you'll see that I do have a group linked there, so you can join as well. The place that I am most active is on Instagram, so you can follow me here at Karen Whooley. Make sure there's no space between Karen and Whooley or underline or anything. There's an underline between Karen and Whooley for my personal Instagram, and only family and friends are on that one. So if you want to find out about crochet, this is the link you want to do. And if you're watching after the fact, or even live right now, I also upload these videos to Rumble. If you are a Rumble user or not a Rumble user and want to check out Rumble, this is my my video page. So as soon as this is over, I'll be uploading it to Rumble. And just so you guys know too, is if it's free to join Rumble, I do have an affiliate link that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen right now. That helps. I get a little kickback for everybody who signs up using my link. And that helps me keep my business running. So I just wanted to let you know that that's an option too. And I'm going to go head over to the chat room really quick and see who's here, because I see you guys are getting chatty again. Good morning, Patricia. How are you? I hope you're healing well. Hi, Stephanie in Texas. Good morning. And Araya, good morning. I think that's Kelly, right? I'm pretty sure that's Kelly. And Aunt Ida, hello. And Linda and Brad are here. Good morning, Linda and Brad. I'm glad you guys are here. Good morning, Laura. I'm glad you are here too. I hope all of you are doing great this morning. Linda says, I hope everybody's doing great, and I agree with her. I hope everybody's doing great this morning. It's Wednesday, May 26th, and I promised last week that we would do the drawing today for the Hershener's set. From Karen McKenna. Karen McKenna's here. Also, I just saw her. She's here watching. I wanted to do the drawing right up front because I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for this. The entries are closed. I have 11 people who actually sent me the right word. So Laura's recovering from putting in a dry creek. Oh, wow. I bet, well, hauling rock is, if you're doing any rock, that's a lot of work. Wow. Okay. That's, yeah. My husband and I took out a bunch of rock that the builders put in our front yard. And all I was doing was literally taking the rock out of the bed and putting in buckets. He was hauling the buckets into the wheelbarrow and taking the wheelbarrow to dump them. And both of us were just exhausted. So if you had anything to do with rock, I feel your pain. It's a lot of work. Okay, so here we go. Oops, turning that this way. Here's my little giveaway bucket. If any of you have taken a class from me live, you might recognize this because I do giveaways in my live classes. I haven't figured out a great way to do that online yet, but in the future, that might be a possibility. But right now, this is how I do all my giveaways. I've written everybody's name down who sent me the right word, which was Calendar Girl. So I'm just gonna stir these up, and we're gonna pull the winner. Here we go. And the winner might not be watching right now either, because I did have a few that were after the fact. And the winner is Ruth Tigner. So Ruth, I don't know if you're here. I didn't see you pop in and say hello. But if Ruth is here, I do have everybody's emails who entered. That's why I had you use my contact form so that I could contact you directly. So Ruth, this is going to be heading your direction. So be watching for an email from me. And I'm going to put your name here inside the book so that I don't forget who it was. Thank you guys for all of you who entered. I really am appreciative. I also want to put up on here too. So if you weren't a winner, I still have the information from Karen here. If you want to get the Treasury of Crochet Afghans calendar, the only way you can do it is by contacting the customer service line at this number. And they'll send you a postcard, I believe, or something. They'll somehow get you the calendar. So I wanted to make sure that you guys knew how to do that. I'm going to leave that up for a second here. But it's a really cool calendar for those of you who haven't seen it. It comes with 3 pieces. It's the calendar itself. And it has pictures of Afghans for each month. So I'm going to just put one up right here for January. So that's that. And then it comes with the pattern book. This is actually where the patterns are for all of the Afghans that are in the calendar. And then it comes with also a pocket calendar that you can put in your purse or project bag or something, just to be able to have a calendar with you. So I'm really excited for Ruth. So if you're interested in getting it, again, there's that number. And then one other thing I wanted to tell you guys is Karen McKenna is still giving you guys a discount through, I think she said Sunday, on her patterns. Karen, pop in and let me know if that was the right date. It's Sunday, I believe. So if you go to iHook Design and use the code Karen Squared, make sure you do that as well. And you can save, again, 20% on any of her patterns, any and all. Now, last week we said that you could put them all in the cart, but you can't. Unfortunately, the shopping cart software that she uses, you have to do them one at a time. So if you want like 3 patterns, you have to purchase each one individually, but you still can use that code and you'll save 20% on each one of those. So there you go, guys. There's some comments out here. Let's see. Linda. Yeah, and then I saw, wow, fast answer. I knew you guys were going to ask. That's why. Sorry, guys. My allergies are kicking in today, so my voice is not working properly. That's why I immediately gave you guys the information, because I knew somebody was going to ask me. And then congratulations, Ruth. Yes, through Sunday. So the Karen Squared code at Karen McKenna's website is through Sunday. So there you go. And then hello, Marianne. Good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so what's new? I'm so excited to show you guys a couple things that just came in. One is, and I've told you about this yarn before, Red Heart Bunches of Hugs. I got two skeins of it. This is their colorway Castle, which is a yellow, gray, and white. And just so you guys know, it's a worsted weight yarn. It's 100% acrylic, I believe. I can't find it here now. Okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah, 100% acrylic. And it's a long striping yarn. And this is, I think I've told you guys, this is one of my favorite yarns for baby Afghans, especially when I know the parents can't don't understand about washing things and not shrinking them and stuff like that. This actually, I have a little story to go along with this. A couple weeks ago, I got a text, and it was from one of my prior crochet students who, well, his name is Taylor, and I met him, if I remember correctly, it's almost 15 years ago. He was a senior in high school, and he called my local yarn shop at the time to see if there was someone who could mentor him in crochet. And of course, they put him in touch with me. And I basically, what was happening is he had crocheted for a while. He knew how to do a single crochet. I think he might have known a double too. And he was making hats, like beanie hats, and he was selling them to his friends. And for his senior project, at that time, the Everett School District had a program where every senior for a semester had to do a project, and they had to learn something, and then they had to do a presentation with it. And he wanted to do crochet, which was kind of interesting. So I literally, the first time we met, he showed me what he knew, and he told me what the concept was and what he wanted to do. And I have to find the picture. I cannot find the picture. But the ultimate project, we worked through the entire semester. He learned how to, he learned some of the other stitches. He learned Tunisian, including Tunisian entrelac. He learned how to sew seams. He learned side to side. He learned how to make a hood. He learned how to install a zipper. And his final senior project was a sweatshirt. It was a brown sweatshirt with a hood and a zipper. And he used the Tunisian entrelac to make the pockets that are in front of the hoodies, that most hoodies, sweatshirts have. So when he got an A on the project. But over the years, he and I have kept in touch. He graduated from high school and went to one of the universities north of us. And while he was in college, he was telling me stories about how he would make hats and sell them, and that's how he made some of his money. He even bought a car that way, selling hats. He started crocheting hammocks and stuff. So anyway, a couple weeks ago, I get this text saying, "Is this still Karen Whooley?" And I still had his number in my phone. And I said, "Hi, Taylor. Yes, it is." And come to find out, I had already known that he had graduated from college because he had me come into his classroom. He was as a student teacher, and do a unit on crochet for his students. And that was probably like 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years maybe even now. But he was telling me he wanted to touch base with me because he saw my YouTube live. So Taylor, if you're watching, hello. And he wanted to tell me that he had as a counselor in a high school and just had a newborn baby last month. So I was really excited. So if Taylor, y'all told me not pink. So here is yellow and gray. So this is going to be for his newborn baby. I'm really excited. So I'm really excited. You have a picture with him too. So at some point when I find these photos, I went and did a little bit of a dive into my pictures. I couldn't find them this morning, but I didn't do a full deep dive. So I know they're on my computer. I just have to find them. So anyway, that is, that's the first thing that's new. I noticed that there are some questions in here. Okay, guys, I will answer some of these questions after I get through what's the new stuff and what I'm working on. And then I'll get through those through the questions, just so you know, because I knew you guys were going to ask me these questions. So second thing that's new that I'm really, really excited about is I told you I was getting a new stitch dictionary, and it came not yesterday. I think it came Saturday. So this is a new book. It's written by 2 crocheters in Germany, which I didn't know that when I ordered it, which is really cool. But I got it off of Amazon. It's brand new. I think it was just released this week. So it's got 440 patterns, and it literally, stitch patterns. That's all that's in here. There's no projects. there's at the back of the book, they have the crochet basics, you know, like how to single crochet, how to double, all that stuff. But then she does, at the very back, there's the basic stitch patterns, and it tells you the names of all the stitch patterns. This is a really cool feature. It tells you that what page it's on and the multiples, guys, the multiples. So for every stitch in here, so on page 12, there's ridge lines, and you can use any stitch count plus 1 beginning chain. For separated boxes, it's a multiple of 4 plus 1 plus 2 beginning chain. So in my case, I mean, the way the Americans usually write that would be a multiple of 4 plus 3, because that's an extra 3. But they have a multiple of 4 plus 1 chain, and that's actually the stitches, and then the beginning chain is the chain 2. So they write it a little bit differently than we do, but every single pattern has their multiples. And what I really liked about it, guys, is, and we'll talk about this in just a second, it's got basic stitch patterns, shells and fans, clusters and popcorns, bobbles, puffs and nups, spike stitch, raised stitch, mesh and trellis patterns, crossed and interlocking stitches, cables, ripple and chevrons, edgings and borders, and granny squares. I can't talk today, guys, honestly. And they have charts for everything. Everything's charted. The yarn they use is either blue or most of it's blue. They're all different shades of blue depending on what the stitch was. But what I like about it is in some of the chapters, let me see if I can find it in this one. This is still the basic stitch patterns. Yeah, this is the one that had it. Some of the patterns, they broke them down into how to do them in the round. So even the charts show you how to do them in the round. So if you're looking for a new stitch dictionary, I'd recommend looking at this. It's available on Kindle as well as in paperback. I ordered the paperback because I really wanted to be able to do a really good review, and you'll see a review on this in a few weeks on my my blog. So just so you guys know, but this is it. I mean, literally, it is all stitches. I mean, just all stitches, and it's beautifully done. I haven't checked any of the other. I haven't checked any of the other platforms other than Amazon. I bought it on Amazon. I'm assuming you get it at Barnes & Noble, Apple Books. I don't know that they have a website for the designers or the writers, the authors, but it is a stack pole book. So if you go to the Stack Pole website, you could probably purchase it there as well. So yes, so I'm very excited about that. And then the other thing too, I forgot to mention, I have a shawl on today that I haven't worn it. And I wanted to show you right now this shawl. I have a special for you. This is Pretentious. For those of you who like mini sets, this is 2 mini sets done together, 2 different colors. One was the pinky colors and the other was the blue, and I worked them together. And what I did with this particular pattern is I started with the short end, and I worked with the darkest color of the pink, and then I went to the lightest color of the blues. And I went back and forth between the dark, and then as I went through the pinks, they got lighter, and the blues got darker. So that when I ended the shawl, I was working with the darkest blue and the lightest pink here in the striped area. It's an asymmetrical shawl, and so you guys know I do have it because you guys are my YouTube followers, and you're here almost every week, most of you. I have a special code for you guys, and that is YouTube follower. You'll get 15% off the pattern. It's Pretentious. So if you go to my website and and use that code, you'll get 15% off. And it's in the shawl section. So if you guys are interested in that, there you go. Okay, so let's go to the questions here really quick. Okay, so Linda asks, what time is your doctor's appointment today? And Kelly says the same thing. Just so you guys know, excuse me, let me grab some water here. Hang on. It's at 2 p.m. Pacific time, which is 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Mountain. Little nervous, I'll be honest with you. I was doing really well until about Sunday. And then it's like everything hit and it was like, it's the unknown. It's the not knowing of whether or not the treatments that we've done have worked to kill the cancer. So just so you guys know, keep me in your thoughts and prayers. I'd really appreciate it. As soon as I know something, after I talk to my family first, obviously, either way, I'll probably do something to let people know, whether it's on social media or something. So, and it depends on how I feel, depending what the answers are when I go. So you may not hear anything till next week if I need to process, and you may hear immediately on social media, if I'm really excited. So just so you guys know what's going on with that. So, okay. So somebody said they had finished Pache. Was that Linda? Oh, there you go. I just finished Pache. I'm weaving in ends like your Nonna taught you. Good. I'm glad that I love the way she taught me. And they never come out. For those of you who haven't seen my video, you can look on my YouTube channel. There's a way, I have a video on how to weave in ends. And that's how my grandmother taught me to weave in ends. So if you're interested in watching that, it's here on YouTube. I don't have the link in front of me. Okay, so you learned how to, okay, so doctor's appointment. Okay, so Marianne had a question on, that's why I knew I saw somebody talk about Pache. You tried to send Pache pattern to daughter to print for me, but it won't go. I don't have a printer. When you say it won't go, what do you mean, Marianne? Give me, actually, you know what? Let's not try to talk about it here. Why don't you send me an email and tell me what's going on, and I can see what I can do for you, okay? I think that would make it a little easier rather than try to figure it out here on the video. Laura says, how cool. I wish I could gift new parents sleep. No kidding. I was thinking about that too, because yeah, I remember my kids not wanting to sleep. So I hope Taylor's getting some sleep, because I'm sure he's still at the school, because school isn't out quite yet. Kelly says, that looks interesting. I'm assuming that's the pattern book. And Anna Louisa, good morning. I'm glad you're here. While you need that, well done me. What is, are you talking about the shawl, that you need the shawl? Thank you. If you're talking about the book, it's not my book, it's someone else's book. But I just thought, so let me know what you were thinking there. Okay, so, and then I just lost where I'm at. Okay. Oh, Karen says, yay for multiples. Kelly says, ooh, I'm thinking those are the books too. Connie and Lauren Wood, good morning. Glad to see you here. Good morning. And then Karen says, working in the round right now. And Karen, are you asking what yarn in the shawl? This shawl was actually Black Trillium Fibers, who is no longer in business, unfortunately. But any other mini set, it was 6 colors in each mini set. So anybody who has 6 or more minis, you can do this with. And if you wanted to do it in solid colors, or you wanted to buy full-size hanks and change the colors on your own, you can do that. It doesn't have to be done in minis, but if you have minis that you don't know what to do with, this is a great pattern for that. So, Um, thank you, Linda, for letting me know that you're going to be doing rosaries for me. I appreciate that. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you. You guys have no idea how some of you probably do know how nerve-wracking this is within the not knowing. The goal is for you guys, for you guys to know is that if there are no tumors, I do still have to go through treatments. It's a maintenance treatment, 3 weeks of treatments, and then 3 months off for a full year. So that I think I can handle the 3 weeks of treatments. It's if there are tumors and we have to go back and do everything I just did all over again, is going to be interesting. Especially since my daughter is getting married in September, on the 4th of September, and I still have all the wedding stuff to deal with. So I'm really hoping that it's the first and that there's no tumors. But I put it in God's hands. He's going to bring me whatever it is. So I just need to pray. I need to have faith that I can get through whatever it is. Be like Dory, just keep swimming. You got this. Thank you. Actually, I was thinking about that too. Is just keep swimming. No matter what happens, I'm going to be able to just keep moving forward. That's all I can do at this point. So we're with you in spirit. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. And Mary Ann, I'm stressed every time I go to the oncologist for test results. Okay. I'm glad to hear that I'm not the only one who's doing this, because it's really stressful. I normally go to the doctor. I mean, I'm a severe asthmatic, and I've had 5 sinus surgeries. I've had laparoscopies for endometriosis. I've had hysterectomy because of my endometriosis, all that kind of stuff. I have never been so stressed as I am right now. So yeah, it's really, really interesting. It's really interesting how the word cancer affects your mind. It's totally different. Yes. And Linda, I know you know too. Yes, it is scary. Hi, Anna Louisa. Oh, I guess you were saying hi back to me. What's the name of that stitch diagram book again? Oh, the Stitch Dictionary is called The New Crochet Stitch Dictionary. And it's by Nellie Bross and Eveline Hetty Burkhardt. There's their names at the bottom. And it's on Amazon. The book, yay. Okay, the book's not mine, Anna Louisa. It's definitely someone else's, but the shawl is mine. So thank you. And Karen says yes. Oh, about the yarn. Must have been about the yarn. So that you were asking me about for the shawl. Okay, so anybody else have anything they want to ask or talk about? I thought since I got a new stitch dictionary, I thought we'd talk about stitch dictionaries here for a little bit. First, I wanted to show you, I'm going to show you 2 of my most favorite stitch dictionaries that are already in my stash before this. Oh, yay for having the book. I'm so excited about this book, Anna Louisa. Can't even tell you. It's got some standard stitches that are named differently than we would name them here in the United States. But it's got some new things that I've never seen before. So I want to do a good, thorough review on it. And the other book mentioned to you, I showed this to you earlier in the year. Let me go grab it. It's right here. I might as well show you guys this one too. You guys have seen this before. This is live loop cables in crochet. And if you look at the cover, it almost looks like knitted cables, but those are actually crochet cables. I got this book right before I started my treatments, and I could not do a review on it until after the treatments were over. So I'm going to do a review on this one too, and I'll probably, test out some of these stitches. But for those of you who haven't seen this before, these are crocheted cables. You can see those are single crochets underneath the cable, but they look like live loops. So They look like knitting cables, and it gives you a totally different look with these cables. So I'm really excited about reviewing this book too. So hopefully in the next few weeks, you'll see both of those books reviewed. You haven't seen this one, Karen? I found it on Amazon like in February and ordered it. So it's really a cool little book. So I'm very excited to review that one as well. Okay, so let's talk about stitch dictionaries. Now, I think I've told you guys that my grandmother gave me my first stitch dictionary when I was probably, well, let me look at the date on this one. It was published in, oh, of course they do it in Roman numerals, and I have to think about this, 1974. So this book was released in 1974. So chances are I was 7 or 8 when she gave this to me. I got mine on Amazon too, Karen, and Linda. So if that's what you're talking about. But this book, it's no longer in print. It's Columbia Minerva Crochet by Pauline Chatterton, released in 1974. I used this so much, I finally had to have it spiral bound because the cover was coming off and the pages were falling out. Does anybody out there have this book besides me? Anybody? Pauline Chatterton was one of the better known designers back in the 60s and 70s. But I didn't know who she was at the time. You know, I was 7 or 8 when I got this. Because I learned in 1974. This book was released in 1974, and I remember Nonna giving it to me shortly after I learned how to crochet. It could have been in 75. You know, it was in that time frame. But this one's really cool. There's 74. There's no charts or anything, but it's all black and white, and it's all sorts of stitches. And what's funny is I don't think any of these stitches are blocked. I mean, there might be a few that have been stretched out and steamed, like this one or this one up here. And this one up here might look familiar because I used it in my ripple shawl. And then the leaves right below it are a partial of what I used in my spring leaf pattern. I stripped this down a little bit and changed the stitching a little bit, but it's based off this particular pattern. But I still go back through this when I'm coming up with new designs. There are stitches in here that I love. And even if I don't use them in a design, they start the creative juices process, they get them flowing. And I have used a lot of these stitches for personal projects over the years. And a lot of times I'll take one of these stitches and I'll change it to work for what I need. So this is such an old book. But what's really cool about it is they have, the basic stitches, but then they have a section on filet crochet. So you've got all sorts of patterns for filet crochet. And then when you get past the filet crochet, they've got what they called the Afghan stitches back then. These are Tunisian stitches. And then they have miscellaneous stitches, which are like star stitches. None of them are named, none at all. Then they have motifs, and they start with granny squares and move on to other sorts of squares. And then they even have thread squares in here, which is really interesting. And they have projects in here every once in a while, like there's a patchwork rug pattern that are using the motifs that they have in this book. And then they have, where is it? And they even have small motifs, which are really cool. Like I really like this one down here that looks like a sunflower. It's really cool. I love this book. Let's see. And then they have circles. They have all sorts of circles. This is I honestly, if you can find a copy of this book, I highly recommend getting it, because even though the stitches, the pictures aren't that clear, the instructions are pretty good. I mean, they're not to, what our normal standards are with these books. I'm trying to find the next. Oh, they even have leaves and flowers. Oh, and then edgings. Here we go. There's a section on broomstick lace in here. I haven't gotten to that yet. Hairpin lace and broomstick. Here's the hairpin. So there's hairpin lace. So this book literally covers multiple techniques. Here's a hairpin lace pattern, or two patterns with hairpin lace. And I know there's broomstick in here, and I must have passed it. Oh, here we go. Here's broomstick. Even have pictures showing you how to do broomstick. So if you can find this book, I highly recommend it. Even if you don't, it's got ideas in here that you can work with. It's very 70s. Most of the patterns are very 70s. There's a sweater pattern in here that makes me laugh every time I look at it. Here we go. There you go. It's a sweater with edgings all over it. So it dates me. I was 7 in 1974. So this book is, a little bit younger than I am, but not by much, but it's a great, great book. Okay, so I saw that there's a bunch of people asking questions. Let me go back. Have you tried, Karen asked if you tried any of the technique yet. I have not. I have not. I don't know if Brad's mom did, but I have not. I am going to. I was planning to while I was getting my treatments, but my brain would not figure it out yet. So I haven't. So I'm waiting to see what happens today, and then I'll figure out when I can do that technique. Marianne says, I have an ancient leaflet from Leisure Arts of fisherman cable blankets and hats and mittens. Yes, I have many ancient Leisure Arts too. I might even have that one. I have to look now that you're saying that with the fisherman's cable. Linda says, no, she hasn't, but she loves looking through that book. Nope. Oh, Kelly, I don't know if you're already here. I have already left, but I hope you have a great day at work. And if not, if you're already gone, I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. Okay, so Karen says, I need to spiral my Harmony Guide. Yeah, I have a lot of these that I've had to spiral, my older books that I've had to spiral bind. The calendars, okay, so there's that 800 number. Anna Louisa, I don't think they did either, at least not until like the 80s, because the 80s is when I really, my grandmother would have me steam things out, especially when I was working on thread, steam doilies and stuff like that out, lace. But I don't think anything with yarn we've ever steamed out until maybe the 80s when I started seeing it in some of the magazines back then. That book is amazing. Karen, are you talking about this one? The Columbia Minerva book? Yes, I think it's amazing too. Anna Louisa has a stitch dictionary published by Editions Lesacre, all in black and white with charts even. That's awesome. That's awesome. Do you know what the name of that is, Anna Louisa? For those of us that might want to look for it. Okay, sorry, I get distracted. Okay, Mary Ann says, I enjoy Broomstick. That's awesome. I hear the song Everything Old is New Again. Yes. Yep. Well, what's funny is that's kind of where my design process comes from is I think I showed you guys a few weeks ago that box of crochet lace thread from my great aunt that's on my dad's side of the family that I just keep looking at that going, I need to deconstruct or reverse engineer some of those and use those lace patterns in new things. And in my whole book, Modern Italian Lace Crochet, is all old stitch patterns from Italy that were done in thread that I made more modern. So yes, that is exactly where I come from. Okay, so just looked on, oh, they do? Oh my gosh, no way. This one, yeah, I wouldn't buy it from Amazon. I would check eBay. I would check thrift stores. Oh my gosh, this, yeah, no, oh my gosh. This is, this is never leaving my sight now. Oh my goodness. Oh, Stephanie, I can't believe they have it and they're selling it for that much. Oh, okay. Wow. And Anna Louise is going to look and it's in Spanish. Oh, that's cool though. You know, it's funny that you say it's in Spanish. My mom speaks Italian. It was her first language. It was actually my first language too. And my mom was a school teacher and she had a lot of Spanish speaking students in her class and their parents didn't speak any English. So she would speak to them in Italian and they would speak to her in Spanish. And there's enough similarities between the two languages that they could understand each other. So I would love to see a Spanish book to see if I could figure out what they're saying in the Spanish language. See, Linda says, I got a crochet and knit stitch diagram book earlier this year, 700 knit. Wow. What book is that, Linda? Wow, that's a lot. Is that the one of the Japanese ones? Because I was just thinking, I think I might have that one if it's the Japanese one. You just ordered a Minerva book on eBay. see, eBay's where to go. There you go. Oh my gosh, Stephanie, I can't believe, and she just paid $11, guys. and that's new. It uses under 50 on Amazon. So if you're willing to spend a little more, you can get it on Amazon. But I would look eBay first. Craigslist, all of those places. Okay, Ganchillo Artistico. 880 puntos. Puntos is also what Italians call stitches. Punto or punti. Punti is plural in Italian. Divided into 3 sections: crochet, Tunisian, and net. Oh, I'm going to have to look for that one. Okay. I'm going to have to look for that one. Yes, by Gail or someone or other. Okay. Okay, I'm going to have to look for some of these books, guys, because I love stitch dictionaries. I want to show you another stitch dictionary. Karen McKenna, you might be interested in this one too. I don't know, maybe you have this one. I don't know if I've ever showed you this one before. This shawl is not wanting to stay on my body today. Okay, there we go. If you're a Tunisian person, this is the Encyclopedia of Tunisian Crochet by Angela Grabowski. It's an older book too, if I remember. Let's see when she published it. And this one's a little newer, a lot newer than the other one. This one's 2004. This one was released. This one you can get on. I used to be able to get it on Amazon. I don't know if it's still there. But this one is, again, it's mostly black and white. Okay, mostly black and white, but she's got all sorts of stitches in here. I mean, she taught techniques, like a limpet shell, a limpet shell, big bobbles, arrowhead netting instructions. She does not have charts in here. It's all verbiage, but if you're interested in getting an older book on Tunisian, she's got 400 stitches, 500 photos. It's broken up into tutorials like the Great Pearl Controversy on how to make the pearl stitch, foundation stitches for Tunisian, getting started, changing colors and adding new yarn, crocheting the strips of Tunisian together, adding edges and trim, increasing, decreasing, how to reduce the curl. That's a big one for anybody who's learning how to do Tunisian. She's got a whole section on that. And then keep using color and texture for diversity, tips and tricks, and then questions and answers. And then she's got the basic stitches, the Tunisian knit, simple, purl, and then, backward stitches, crossbar foundations, all sorts of stuff. Double and treble stitches, front cross stitches, back cross stitches, design patterns and stitch combinations. So like how to do buttonholes in Tunisian, cluster stitches, puff stitches, arrowheads, flying geese, shells and fans, 3-dimensional cables, Tunisian cables and ropes and braids, honeycombs. I mean, she's got tons of stitches in here, guys. It's a beautiful book. And I knew her when she was writing this book. And I was one who recommended she release her own book on this. So Encyclopedia of Tunisian Crochet by Angela, and we used to call her Arnie Grabowski. She always signed everything as Arnie. So this is another book that is one of my favorites for Tunisian. And I'll be honest with you, I have not used it a lot lately because I haven't done a whole lot with Tunisian. But she's got, I mean, look at some of these pictures. She does have a few color pictures in here with the projects. So she does have some beautiful projects. Look at the sampler of a lot of different stitches using different yarns. I mean, so you can, this is a great book. Let's see. I'm trying to see what else she's got in here that might be of interest. She started experimenting with the Afghan stitch in an effort to mimic knitting without using 2 needles. And she loved all the different stitches. And even after Tunisian made a comeback, more books and patterns were available. She was disappointed that there was not one inclusive guide for Tunisian crochet. So she created this one. So honestly, it's a great book. You need to get this. Yes, Kathy, what they used to call Afghan stitch is now Tunisian stitch. That's because it was developed in Tunisia. So, so you guys, just so you know, I don't know where she's disappeared to. I haven't seen her in several years. I haven't heard of her doing anything in several years. So I don't know if she's still around. I know she's from Texas, but that's all I know. So I don't know what it's going to take to find this book, if it's still on Amazon or what. So just so you guys know, it was published by a company called Lone Star Abilene. And you can find it, they have a website here. It says www.lonestarAbilene.com. I don't know that you can still get it there. Arnie had a website too. Chez Crochet, yes. Chez Crochet. It's CHEZ crochet.com. So if you're interested in that, yes. You can try looking for her website too, if you can't find the book anywhere. But it's the Encyclopedia of Tunisian Crochet. So that's another one I highly, highly recommend. Okay, so besides blocking when finishing, is there any way to keep Tunisian from curling? Laura asks. So let's see what Arnie has to say about that. Hang on, what page is it on? How to reduce the curl. 21. Okay, so the single most effective tip for reducing curling in Tunisian is to loosen the tension and make the stitches larger. Okay, so if your stitches are too tight, that is the best way to do it. Secondly, a loose tension when working the beginning chain. And also, in my opinion, if you work in the back bump of the chain rather than through the center of the chain, you reduce the curl as well. I find that to be a problem. And that's her third thing. And also varying the stitches reduces the curl. So for instance, pearl foundations have the least curl of all foundations, plus pearl stitches tend to curl the opposite direction as other foundations. So by switching back and forth from pearl foundation to other foundations, you force the curl to fight against itself. So there's another option. And she gives you all sorts of foundations for Tunisian. So if you're interested in Tunisian, this is probably the best way, best book to get, because she literally breaks down everything in this book. Working varying stitches and then working strips of Tunisian crochet in different directions to allow the, so if you're going to make like a blanket, when you piece them together, maybe make them so that, you know, one's going this way, one's going that way, or one's upside down, one's right side up, that kind of thing. That helps get rid of the curl. And she steam blocks it. So those are her recommendations. So, but I highly recommend this book. Linda's book is called, oh yes, I have that one. I have that one. It just dawned on me, yes. Several Minerva books on eBay, Title of Tunisian again. I just showed that. Encyclopedia of Tunisian Crochet. And Kathy asked that, yes. And we did tell that. And yes, Marianne, Tony of TL Yarns designs in Tunisian crochet. But I can tell you that she does not know nearly what Angela does in this book. So I don't even know if she has this book. So I would recommend, I mean, there's two people in Tunisian or actually three people who do Tunisian well. The first one is Arnie in this book, and anything you can find from her. She would be my number one person for Tunisian. My number two person for Tunisian would be Crochet Kim or Kim Guzman of Crochet Kim. She'd be my number two. And my number three is Darla Fanton. If you can find any of Darla Fanton's books, I don't know that I have any of her books easily accessible, but those are the three people I mean, there's a lot of designers out there doing Tunisian, but if you really want the nuts and bolts of Tunisian, it's Arnie, Kim Guzman, and Darla Fanton. Anybody can design in Tunisian, but to really understand Tunisian, those are your three people to go to. So I highly recommend talking to all of those, or looking for all of those names. So that's it for me with Stitch Dictionaries. I mean, there's others out there that I absolutely love. Melissa Leitman has one out there. I have it in my iPad. I can't think of the name of it right now. Maybe Karen McKenna can think of the name for me. Robin Chichula has a really good one called Crochet Stitches, a Visual Encyclopedia. I have it in hardback. That's a really good one. All of the harmony guides, if you could find the harmony guides, those are great. And the other ones, and I didn't pull them out, but if you can find any of the American School of Needlework, they have like 101 stitches for Afghans, 101 ripple stitches, 101 motifs, 101 doilies even, 101, let me see, I've got some here. 101 stitches for Afghans, 101 crochet squares, anything by American School of Needlework. Those are amazing. So wanted to just mention those. Before I go, guys, anybody else have, oh, good. I'm glad, Marianne, you have Kim's good books. I love Kim's books. I have a couple of hers as well. And Darla Fanton's got a really good Tunisian stitch dictionary out there. So look for that as well. I forgot to mention earlier, so I'm going to mention it now, that you guys know I'm a crafty instructor, right? I am on Craftsy. I'm going to put up my Craftsy screen here really fast. This was the first class I did for them called Fair Isle Crochet. And then I also did another one called Mix and Match Crochet Bag Techniques. So those, I wanted to show you those because, hang on one second here, because Craftsy is doing a sale right now. And you can get 70% off all Craftsy classes. Not just mine, all of them. And you can do that between now and the 31st. by using my link right there, KarenHooley.com/craftsy, and then use the code Bloom70 when you check out, and you can purchase the classes outright for 70% off. They have subscriptions for those of you who are interested and things like that. But I wanted to share that with you because I don't know what the cost is for the actual, let's see here. Okay, so if you purchase the class outright, it would be $39.99. So 70% off of that, $39.99. So you would get the class for $11.99 if you purchased it outright using that code Bloom. And the same with my other class. So I just wanted to make you guys aware of that. It goes till the 31st again. And if you use my link that I gave you right there, that is my affiliate link. So I actually get a little bit of a kickback for any of the classes that you purchase on Craftsy. So just want to let you know about it since they just informed all of us today about it. So there you go. But I'm going to leave that there for a second. I'm going to come back though. There we go. So interesting. It's the new people who bought Craftsy or Blueprint and turned it back to Craftsy. They have a totally different business plan as far as how you can get memberships and subscriptions or purchase the patterns outright. They're going to eventually do DVDs, I think, too, at some point. I don't know for sure. But just so you know, their subscriptions are a little bit less expensive than they were with Blueprint, which is very exciting to me. So if you're interested in Craftsy classes, that's the where to go on that as well. Okay, so Melissa Leitman is indispensable stitch collection for crocheters. That's a stitch dictionary that Melissa Leitman has, and Karen's Wearing Out Darla's 50 Tunisian Stitches. That's the book that I was saying. Darla Phantom is another one. So have you heard of the app Pocket Crochet? No, I haven't heard of that, Marianne. I'll have to look into that. I have never heard of Pocket Crochet. Okay, so there's that. Also, just as a reminder for those of you who want Queen of Hearts, the kit for the Queen of Hearts, you can still get them at 10% off with my last name as the code. So if you're interested in that. Other than that, I think I'm pretty much done. Here's stop every chapter, and you have to keep moving the cursor and picking. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. I have no idea if they even do DVDs. If they're going to. I mean, somebody asked them about them at one of the instructors. I don't know if it's going to happen though. So we'll see. We will see. And the other thing I should mention about Craftsy is the company that bought Craftsy also has another website called Creative Crochet Corner. You can find them on Facebook. They have a group on Facebook, and Creative Crochet Corner is from TN Marketing, who's the company that bought Craftsy, and it's kind of a spin-off thing. You can join for like $6 for the year. You get content. I mean, there's videos out there. I've written articles for them. I've also done. They licensed some of my older crochet patterns. So they're selling them there. What else have I done for them? I've done the patterns. I've done, and you can also get my Craftsy classes, I believe, there too. So if you're not interested in Craftsy, you might want to check out Creative Crochet Corner. If you're on Facebook, I'm in that group, the Creative Crochet Corner group. It's an interesting mix of people from all over the world. Not a lot of them are members of Creative Crochet Corner. But you might want to check it out, just so you guys know. Okay, well, it's 10 o'clock, guys. Which Tunisian book is there bootleg copies of? Karen? Are you talking about this Arnie's? I wouldn't be surprised if there's bootleg copies of this. So yeah, guys, if you come across a site that's doing a bootleg as an author and a designer, don't buy it. One reason is the author does not get any royalties whatsoever on a bootleg copy. I mean, if it's a used book, that's different. If it's the designer has already received her royalties on a book that someone had bought from her and is selling. But if it's a bootleg, don't do it. That's what is ruining livelihoods for people. So I just want to throw that out there. I'm going to go ahead and do my closing. And if you guys you want to chat in the chat room a little bit more, that's fine. I'm going to come back after I do the closing. For those of you who are new and watching after the fact, you can learn more about me at KarenHooley.com. And while you're at KarenHooley.com, make sure you subscribe to my newsletter. You'll get 25% off all new releases, discounts on books, and you'll get all the news first before anybody else gets the news about what I'm releasing, when it's being released, what the pricing is, all that kind of stuff. So make sure you subscribe to my newsletter. If you're not watching this on YouTube and want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can do and this is my YouTube channel. If you also would hit the like button on this video, I would really appreciate it. I'm not getting a whole lot of comments from people after the fact. So if you're watching this after I'm live, I would love for you to leave me a comment on anything we discussed. And I'd be glad to answer you. So sometimes it takes me a week or two to get through all the comments, but just when I get a lot of comments, but lately I haven't had any. So be sure to leave me comments. If you're not watching on Facebook, you can follow me on Facebook at my Facebook page, Karen Hooley Official. And when you're there, check out my group, Team Whooleygan. So you can also join my group there. The social media that I am most active on is Instagram. And you can find me at Karen Hooley. After my appointment today, I'll probably be doing more videos once I know what my schedule is going to be like over the next few months. So I'll be doing some more video hopefully on there. And if you're not a YouTube person and family on Rumble or are interested in looking at Rumble, this is my Rumble channel. And you can also join Rumble using my affiliate link and I'll get a little bit of money. It's free for you, but they give me a little bit of money for sending people their way. My Rumble account actually, let me put that back up. My Rumble account is within 10 people of my YouTube. So I have almost 300 on both. So I have over 600 people following me right now on my channel. I'd like to boost both of those up as well. So if you know anybody that likes YouTube, recommend my channel, whether it's YouTube or Rumble. I really appreciate that too. Last thing that I forgot to mention at the beginning of the show is I am always looking for pattern testers. This is the link to my Yarn Pond testing pool. So if you're interested in testing, I'm going to be putting up a new test before the end of this week. I'm hoping today, but it might not be till tomorrow, depending on what my appointment is like and how long it takes me to upload this to Rumble. So just so you know, I am always looking for pattern testers. So there is the link for that. Also, just as a last reminder, Pretentious, which is the shawl I'm wearing, is 15% off for all the YouTube. And well, if you're watching on Rumble or Facebook, I just used YouTube follower as the code. This time I'll probably use Facebook or something like that later. So that's your code for this particular pattern. And if this is good through Memorial Day. Once Memorial Day is over, the code expires. So there you go. Okay, guys, I'm just going to head back to the comments one more time. Okay. Oh, the bootlegs are coming from Russia. Okay, that makes sense because that has been happening. And yeah, refused by bootleg. That is stealing. Yes, thank you, Linda, for saying that. It is stealing. Are you too late to join? No. Oh, that's what I forgot to do too. Tell you guys. I have a class. I'm gonna switch my screen here really quick. Let me share my screen here one more time. I still have openings to join my class tomorrow night. Let me get back to my screen here. Laying the Groundwork Foundations 102. These are fun foundations. Thank you for asking that question. The foundation stitches I taught last week, and those are the basics, and a lot of you probably already used them. Single crochet foundation, foundation double crochet, third triple, half double. That's what I taught last week. This is fun stuff. These are things like granny square foundation or granny foundation, V-stitch foundation, filet crochet foundation, eyelet foundations. You can see that all of these have holes of some sort in the foundation. So if you're interested in that, it's tomorrow night or tomorrow evening, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time is $35. I'm going to leave up this class page, you know, that you can register for the class until probably tomorrow morning. Because tomorrow morning I'm going to send all the class materials out to all the students who are in the class and also the Zoom instructions. So if you are interested in doing this class, now's the time to join me. Once I know what my schedule is going to be like after my appointment today, I will schedule more classes, and these will probably come back up again. But tomorrow is the first time I'm teaching this on Zoom, so I'm very excited. So there you go. Yes, you can still join, Linda. So everybody, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. I love chatting with you guys. You guys took my mind off of what's happening later today, so that's really awesome. And I will talk to you next week. So have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next week. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate it. Talk to you soon.